I'm Sari Kimbell, and I've done just about everything in the food industry. I have helped hundreds of packaged food business entrepreneurs, and now I want to help you make your delicious dream a reality. Whether you want to be successful at farmers markets, online, or wholesale onto store shelves, food business success is your secret ingredient. I will show you how to avoid an expensive hobby and instead run a profitable food business. Now let's jump in. Welcome back, everyone, to the podcast. This is going to be an amazing podcast for you if you are trying to figure out money and resources and how to get your business to the next level. I'm going to start this podcast first by reading a review that Josh, one of my clients, wrote. And actually, he's a great embodiment of this topic we're going to talk about today, resourcefulness. And I just want to give him a huge shout out for all the work he's done and the time. It always takes longer than you think. But it's so fun to hear about him adding another farmer's market and sales are coming in, and he started to get some small wholesale accounts, and he's just really excited. So Josh owns Jasper Jams outside of Austin. And here's what Josh has to say. I've been working with Sari for the past couple months, and I only have amazing things to say about our time. Her knowledge and resourcefulness have been the key to turning my vision into a workable reality. I really don't think I would be even close to where I am now or have the potential I now have without her help. I was skeptical of even working with someone else on my business, but all my doubts were washed away after we talked the first time. If you are questioning whether or not working with her is the right move, just talk to her. She will always have your best interests in mind. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Josh. And it's been really fun to watch your business grow and evolve. And you are official and legal and out in the world. And I love that you're bringing your amazing jam to so many people in the Texas area. All right. So today we are going to be talking about resourcefulness. And this is going to be a little bit of tough love, and just know that it does come from love, and it comes from me wanting you to be successful and wanting you to get there faster. But I talk with so many of you who have a real passion and drive for your food business dream. You tell me about this amazing product that you make in your kitchen, and I can see it. I can hear it. I mean, it is... your passion, your drive is there. There's no question that you are 100% all in on your dream. But when I ask you what the problem is or where you're getting stuck, this is where things generally start falling apart. And I can very quickly sort of categorize you in my mind as far as, are you a person who is resourceful and is determined and going to figure it out? Or are you just kind of relinquishing your dream to outside circumstances? And so usually when I ask where you're getting stuck, I get one of three answers. It's knowledge, time, and of course, money. Which is why I thought this was such a great topic to wrap up this money series. All of April, we did a series around money and your money mindset and talking with money individuals and experts, so you know what you need to be doing with the money in your business. But again, I will try to refrain from ranting about resourcefulness or the lack of. But this is definitely where I actually see the biggest problem. It is not in your lack of knowledge or time or money. It is in your unwillingness to be resourceful, your lack of skills around resourcefulness. And, it kind of comes down to almost an entitlement sometimes. At no time in history have we had so much information at the tip of our fingers, right? We just type into Google and we get answers churned out to us. Now, whether they're the right answers is a whole other question, but we have access to so much information. And this is where we run into trouble, because I think we can access it so easily that we just think that we should be spoon-fed this stuff, right? You can't type into Google, how do I start a packaged food business that's profitable? It's going to give you lots of disjointed answers, some of which are not true, some of which are not the correct answers. And that's where we have to apply our resourcefulness and our brain. It's great to use those resources, but we got to keep going. And it's just not going to be spoon-fed to us. And I think some of you really just think that you have an idea, you have a passion, it should be here tomorrow. Like, why isn't it not here? Where is the money? Why can't I just find one person to tell me how to do it, and then it's just here in 2 months and I have a business? And that's just not how it works. There is no end to this. If you are truly going to jump on this train of being an entrepreneur, your whole life, your whole business is always going to have problems. It's always going to have things to figure out. You never arrive. So better to say, I am going to be resourceful. I'm going to figure it out. And it really comes down to more of a mindset than anything. It's a mindset around, I can figure this out. To quote Marie Forleo, everything is figure outable. That is an attitude. That is a mindset. And don't get me wrong, I've totally caught myself doing this as well. And I consider myself to be a very resourceful person. I had a dad who was an engineer, and we were never given information spoon-fed to us. We had to go and figure things out. We were encouraged to experiment, to be that scientist in our lives. I was laughing at myself in my mastermind and with my coach. There's a retreat coming up, and I started asking him, like, so when do I need to be there, and where do I need to go, and who's going to pick me up? And and I was like, oh wait, you probably already have a document about this on the website, don't you? And he just laughed at me and was like, yes. Go be resourceful and go to the website and find the information. But it's so tempting to just go to a person and say, tell me the how. So you're not alone if this is you, but just notice, are you putting the results you want into somebody else's hands and then getting upset and blaming them when they don't get back to you timely, or they don't give you exactly what you need? So if you're catching yourself doing this, it's not a problem. We all have a little bit of entitlement in this time in our history. Like, we just have so much information available to us. It's pretty amazing if you think about it. So let's actually just step back and define resourcefulness. I mean, literally, it means becoming full of resources, if you look at the word itself. And the dictionary defines it as the ability to create useful and unique solutions in challenging situations. Well, I don't know of a more challenging situation than you wanting to start a business. Talk about challenging. I mean, just know going into this, you are purposely signing up for challenge, for doing hard things. And I also really think that it is an attitude. It is a frame of mind. It's about you taking responsibility and ownership for your dream in this case, right? For starting your food business, and you saying, I have the ability to figure this out, to create useful and unique solutions. I'm open to that. So if we define the problem, if I were to ask you, all right, you have this amazing, delicious product. What's the problem? And usually, like I said, you guys will give me, well, if I only had a rich uncle, and if I only knew how to do this, and if I only had a co-packer in this state, Or if I only knew how to do this, if I only had more time, if I only had a more supportive spouse, if only my kids weren't stuck at home schooling because of COVID. So is there a tangible thing that you believe that you really think would make it easier for you to do this business? So it's either those tangible resources that are outside of you that you're blaming and that you're saying is the problem, or sometimes we mix it up, or this can be a leading one, is that, it's luck, it's karma, it's the universe, it's God, right? It's something outside of us still. So whether it's like physical, tangible things or something that you feel like, you just are cursed and you can't ever figure it out, that your luck is never good, those kind of things. But those are both outside of you. And hey, I get it. I mean, what is the alternative? If it's not something outside of us, then it's us, right? We're the problem. I created this video a while back that was kind of this like in your face, like, okay, there are 3 reasons why you have not taken action on joining Food Business Success. After you said yes, it's either me, and I don't believe that I've been doing this with hundreds of producers. It's the product and that it's not good, or it's you and your belief and your trust in yourself. And so if you take out the first one, then it's either your product or it's you. And this is scary stuff. I get it. I'm asking you to take responsibility for something that you don't feel like is within your control. But I promise you, it is within your control. And what if you're wrong about the idea that you need more outside resources? Taking away resources is actually what creates more creativity. It's actually pretty likely that your product, I would say 50% of the folks I work with, they are creating products that solve problems, right? They're solving problems of time or nutrition, right? Those are constraints that you actually put on yourself to create something new, to be innovative, to adapt, and to put something out into the world that we haven't seen before, right? Something new and different. And the same thing goes for your journey of creating this business. Why we shouldn't assume that we get something handed to us after we created the product. No, now we just get to go into the process, into the journey of creating more constraints. We all have constraints of time and money and resources. And that's actually the beauty of it. That is what's going to make our journey our own. If we all had all the things, we would all create cookie cutter businesses. But think about the people who you most admire, whose stories just inspire you. They are probably the ones that started out in terrible circumstances, right? And rose above it. And it's actually going through this journey that creates the person that you need to be. I've been reading, I just finished a book actually called The Obstacle is the Way. And it's such a good book. But it basically is saying, in order for you to become the business owner that you want to be, the entrepreneur, create that $5 million in sales kind of product, you actually have to go through what you are going through right now. This is the way you're going to do it. And so why not embrace it and say, yeah, bring on constraints. F you constraints. I'm going to jump in and I'm going to figure it out. These are actually the things that are going to make me stronger. It's like when a kid is learning to walk, right? A toddler is learning to walk. They keep falling down. And as they pick themselves back up, it is actually in that process that they become stronger and strong enough to then hold themselves up and to walk. So that's all we're doing here. It's not a problem. It's actually, can we look at our circumstances like they're a good thing, that they are giving us the tools. If we keep moving forward and never give up, we are molding ourselves. We are going through that fire that is going to reveal the diamond, that's going to reveal the gold underneath of who we wanted to become. So if you're determined enough, you will find a way. You will believe it is possible and do everything in your power to figure it out. I can think of a few of you in particular. You may be listening to this podcast where we've had the call. You tell me you're in. You're like, yes, I'm all in on food business success. And then I send you the link to sign up and then you freeze, right? You come up with all of these excuses. Oh, I need to wait a month till I get more money. I need to wait 2 months. And you even check back in with me. And I'm like, okay, well, when you go find the money, when you go find the time. But here's the thing I know is that you have to start first with a mindset of I can figure it out, that I am determined. I can make that first payment and then I will figure out a way to keep it going. That is how we do things in entrepreneurship. We sometimes have to leap before we are ready because then we force ourselves into that constraint. Like, oh, I've signed up for this. Heck yes, I'm going to show up. And now I'm absolutely going to do it. And I will find a way to find the money, to find the time, to find the education and the knowledge. And the beauty of it is, I'm all for you figuring out the how. And I want to do a whole episode on how greed. My coach likes to say, how is the gift that you get at the end when you figure it out. We don't know the how when you just start out. I don't know how you're going to get from this idea to a profitable, successful food business, whether you're on Amazon or whether you're at a farmer's market or you're in grocery stores. I have no idea how we're going to get there. But if you're willing to commit and you're willing to have courage and create courage, then we will get there because you will just keep putting one foot in front of the other. So here's how I want you to create more resourcefulness. Here's my tips, my hacks for, okay, great. You've told me I'm entitled. Yep, I probably can see how that's possible. That's true. You told me I'm not being very resourceful. Yep. So what do we do about it? Well, I want you to notice your thoughts. We got to create some awareness first. Are the predominant thoughts that you're thinking about your business, do they sound like this? I've tried everything. Nothing's working. I don't know how to do this. I should be farther along. Everyone else seems to be able to figure it out. This always happens to me. I can't believe I did this again. When will I figure this out? Why does this always happen to me? Right? Are those the thoughts that you keep thinking? And I also want you to notice the questions that you ask yourself. Are these questions that are going to open you up or shut you down? So somewhat similar, but think about there's kind of the thoughts, which are statements, and then the questions. Why can't I ever figure this out? Why do I always stop and start? When will I get my act together? Why don't I ever have enough money or time? Why won't people believe in me? Why don't I believe in myself? Both lines of these thoughts and questions are going to shut it down. They turn resourcefulness off. They turn your determination off. They close you down to possibility. I don't know how you're going to find the money. I can tell you from experience that I have clients tell me they find someone, at a farmer's market who wants to help support them and give them a startup loan. They go and find grants. They go deliver Uber Eats and do Instacart to raise extra money. They put it on a credit card. Go back and listen to Christopher with Vuku and his story of resourcefulness. And he did bankroll his business for a while on credit cards. And I'm not saying you should do that. Like, there are definitely potential consequences from that. But if you are really determined, you will find a way to create more money in your life. But if you're asking yourself questions that shut you down, then you're never going to get there. So this is really the first step. If you've noticed that you've started and stopped and started and stopped, and you notice that you keep saying, yeah, I'll do it, I'm going to do it, and then it's 2 months later, it's 4 months later, it's 6 months later, and you haven't done it yet, I'm guessing you need to go back and really bring awareness to your thoughts. Are you focused on things that are in your control or things that are outside of your control? We cannot control our circumstances. We can't control the city we were born into, our family, the money situation we were born into, the education we had. But there are things that you can control now. And those are the most inspiring stories, right? Those are the stories that we love to read, the movies we love to watch, are about the down and out, right? The person who had the least amount of resources, the least amount of time and money and knowledge. And then they figured it out. They went to work and they transformed things when they kept an open mind. And they went to work. There was an inherent belief in themselves. And do you have that same belief in yourself? If you're unwilling to put something on a credit card or take a loan out to get started on your dream, I would actually question whether you have a true belief in yourself that you will have your own back and you will stay with it. If you're unwilling to do that, I'm guessing it's because you know that you can't trust yourself to actually follow through. So are you focused on things in your own control? Are you focused on the past, what you've always done before, or the future? Listen, the building blocks of your business are not in the past. You don't know how to build and create a successful food business in your past because you've never done it before. So if we're looking to our past self to say, how do I do this? The answer is not there. The answer is in your future self. And that means that we're going to try things and we're going to fail and you're going to take action and it's going to fail and we're going to think like a scientist, right? Remember that episode? I'll put a link in the show notes for it. But that is the journey of being an entrepreneur. Are you focused on the lack of things, what you're missing? Are you focused on comparing yourself to others? If this is where your focus is, that is the result you're going to get. Zero movement on your business. It's never going to happen. So we have to make decisions now to ask ourselves better questions, to create better thoughts that open ourselves up to possibility. I know I put a quote up on Instagram a while ago that said, luck favors the persistent. And that is so true. We have to go and create our own luck. I know some of you are just hoping somebody will drop a bunch of cash in your lap. But here's the thing, that's never going to happen if you don't at least start telling people about your dream, if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't ask for help, if you don't seek out resources. It's never going to happen. If you just stay in your own mind and fantasize about this delicious business that you want to create, that is where it will stay, in your own mind. So I want to offer you some better questions to ask yourself and some better thoughts. So thoughts might be, I'm open to the possibility of creating a successful business. I'm open to the possibility of finding resources. I always figure it out. I have no idea how this will happen, but I will keep taking action. I will keep doing the next thing I know how to do. I trust myself. I believe in myself. I will find a way. And my all-time favorite that my best friend and I say to each other all the time, I can do hard things. Those kind of thoughts, do you feel it in your body? How it just it feels so much better. you're going to take action from such a different energy, a different feeling than action from, I've tried everything. I don't know how it's going to happen. This isn't working. I should be farther along. Versus, I'm in the perfect place. I'm exactly where I am supposed to be in this journey. I always figure it out. I am open to the possibility. Wow, it's such a difference, right? And then asking yourself better questions. Who do I know that I could ask the next question of? Go to our private Facebook group. Go ask your question there. That is a sign of being resourceful, right? You're open to possibility there. Join Food Business Success. Who do you know that knows how to start a packaged food business and grow your packaged food business? Me. You know me. I mean, talk about being resourceful. You might as well spend your time not researching to the ends of the earth what license you need and how to register for the FDA and what a HACCP plan is. Be resourceful. Go join a program like Food Business Success that helps you get there so much faster so you can focus on all of the other and many other things you will have to do as an entrepreneur. How can I have fun creating this business? Who do I want to become in this process? Who is the entrepreneur I want to be at the end of this journey? And there is no end. I said that before. But there are definitely milestones, right? Who do I want to become as a farmer's market business? What if I did know the answer? What if I knew the next thing to do? What would it be? What if this wasn't a problem? That's a great one. Right? Like, what questions, take those crappy questions that shut us down. Why can't I always figure this out? Why do I always start and stop? Why don't I ever have enough money? Those things shut it down. Versus, how could I go out and create $100 today? I bet you could. If you really wanted to, put on your thinking cap and list all the ways that you could go create $100 today. Go sell some stuff. Go sign up for, to drive for Uber or deliver groceries. Provide value in the world. And I know you can go make $100. Instead, we sit around and waste all this time dwelling on our negative thoughts, right? Of like, it's not possible. So what if it was possible? What if you did know the answers? How can you have more fun, even more fun, creating a business? I really want you to have fun. I don't want you to get into this is sort of an aside, but I find that so many of you guys are like in pain. It's like suffering to start a business. No, this should be fun. We can have fun creating a business, and I want to help you do that. That is my mission. Yeah, I give you all the how and all the stuff, right? But like, let's have some fun. This doesn't have to be hard. This doesn't have to be suffering. There is no fun at the end. No, we have to create fun along the way. You are literally thinking, they say we think about 60,000 thoughts a day. And I want you to really think about that for a second and think, how many of those thoughts, percentage-wise, are negative? Are things that tear me down, that make me doubt myself? And I'm guessing, I asked a client this, and she was like, I don't know, 40%? I was like, higher. Really? I mean, I would guess most of us, like a very high percentage of our thoughts are negative, on the negative side of things. And we have to purposefully work to at least entertain 50% as good, right? Can we at least give airtime to half of those thoughts being positive? But the thing is, we have to work at it. Our brains are trained to skew to the negative. It's like we're looking for danger. That is how our brains are wired. So we actually have to work at it and do it on purpose. So I would love for you to brainstorm your questions. Just sit down and say, what if I did know? And then start listing out all the possibilities. Your brain loves to go to work for you, and it's only answering the questions that you ask. So asking better questions opens us up to more possibility. It opens us up to resources. And resourcefulness will beat resources every time. If you really think about, the cliche, like trust fund baby, right? The kid who you went to school with who had all the things. They had all the money, all the time, all the things that they wanted at their fingertips. And yet they are the ones who have the least incentive to go do hard things. But that's not you. Together, we are going to create that resourcefulness inside of you. You can figure it out. So I want to encourage you to go write these down, create better questions, put them on sticky notes. I have sticky notes. It's always a little embarrassing if I have somebody over, but I literally have sticky notes around my house reminding me of better questions to think. Because our brains are skewed towards negativity. They will always go to the negative, especially if you haven't practiced this and becoming more aware of it. So I highly encourage you to write down some better questions, put them on your bathroom mirror, put them on your refrigerator, have them close by on your computer where you can constantly be reminding yourself to ask yourself better questions, to create better thoughts. And you will take action from a place of confidence, from a place of curiosity and openness and possibility, rather than just shutting it down and letting the dream die inside your mind. That is not what I want for you. All right. I think that is enough on this topic of being resourceful. I would love for you to share in the private Facebook group your new thoughts, a new question you could ask yourself, or share your resources with us. How did you go and find that next, $1,000? How did you make time? What are the ways that you found those resources? Share with us. Let's open that up in the group and be a community of sharing resources. And until next time, have an amazing week. Are you ready to start that delicious idea that you make in your home kitchen, or grow your existing packaged food business and take it to the next level? The most successful food business entrepreneurs have support, guidance, focus, and accountability to help them make it happen quickly without wasting time or money. Plus, I think starting your packaged food business should actually be fun. Food business success is your secret ingredient to creating your food business dream. Please don't go this alone. Check out the private free Food Business Success Facebook group to connect with other foodpreneurs, get your questions answered quickly, share your wins, and receive special training and tools I only share inside the private community. Just search for Food Business Success on Facebook or get the link in the show notes. Curious about how food business success can help you? Head over to foodbizsuccess.com and fill out the application to see if you're a great fit for the program. Together, let's make your food business dream a reality.